All right, so this is the one I've been waiting for tonight, Wendy.
Okay.
Now, I don't want to make light because I would never do that over the pain and suffering of another individual.
Oh dear, here we go.
But it may happen anyway. So, incidents: a Jeep Wrangler driver ran over a sunbather. You know what I'm saying when it's a sunbather, right? Somebody bathing in the sun
on the beach. Is it on a beach?
On a Florida beach.
Oh, geez. Wait, so they ran. Okay, how does somebody not see somebody laying on the beach?
If you're ready for the great outdoors, make sure your truck is too. Ready to haul, ready to tow, and ready to take along everything you need. Oh my God, that would be wonderful. I want something that's like the TARDIS. You know, it's just a little bitty box.
Yeah.
But you can take the whole house is inside.
Exactly.
You know? And it's just a walk in. You know, give me 10 minutes. I don't remember where I put this, but I know it's in there.
Exactly.
People don't know what the TARDIS is. It's bigger on the inside than the outside. So I'll just tell you that. Go look up Doctor Who, and then you'll go, oh, okay.
Oh, I want one of those.
Anyway, take along everything you need for the day on the water or daybreak in the woods, because no matter what kind of game you're chasing, we say bring it. To the honey hole, to the hunt, to whatever you love to do, and whatever outdoor brings your way, because you can't bring home a trophy unless you bring a truck that's got your back. Real truck. Bring your truck to life. Hi, I'm Tony, and welcome to the Jeep Talk Show.
And howdy, it's Wendy, and let's talk about etiquette. I know you're wondering what? I mean, on the trails, etiquette on the trails. Come on now.
So is that where you have your pinky out with one hand and the middle finger with the other one?
And we're going to talk about tea parties and we're going to have sing kumbaya and have a grand old time.
You ever had a cucumber sandwich? That's pretty good.
They are actually good. I have done that at tea party once. It was actually quite interesting to go through the formality of it all. So
I don't know if I'd do that stuff. I mean, you can't pass gas. I can't be there. All right, so unrelated to passing gas, although I'm sure there was something exiting Sean whenever this happened. Not to make light of this, but I'm pretty sure Sean would appreciate it. Sean P. Holman from the Truck Show podcast, and his daughter, is that Marin?
Marin, I would say Marin.
Mm-hmm. 17, were involved in an accident this past Saturday. I don't know, I can't remember if, I think Saturday was the start of Moab. I think that's correct. The EJS will actually start at Moab. What? Moab closes? No, I'm talking about EJS. Sorry.
EJS, yes.
Yeah. And that's where they were going. They were actually traveling there. So anyway, they were involved in an accident Saturday. The Jeep they were in flipped and injured both of them. They were on their way to Moab to attend Easter Jeep Safari. Just read the copy, Tony, and it'll take care of everything.
Well, but also if you're listening and you're not on YouTube, then you need to check out the website and look at this picture, because I'm thankful that they survived.
Mm-hmm. So according to a Facebook post by Jay, is that Tilly's? Does that look right to you, Tilly's?
I would say Tills or Tiles.
Tiles? Mm-hmm. So I'm not certain, but I think Jay may be the other half of the Truck Show podcast hosts. Mm-hmm. Maybe not. So anyway, Jay says, Saturday morning, my friend Sean P. Holman and his teenage daughter, Marin, were involved in a rollover accident entering St. George, Utah on their way to Moab Easter Jeep Safari.
Wow.
They were attended to on scene by several travelers, including a Las Vegas medic who witnessed the accident.
That's the luck to be there at the same time that there's somebody, because that area is very remote. So they got to come up from Mesquite or come down from St. George, either way. In that gorge area, if that's where they went down, there's nothing around. There's nothing.
Yep. So the medic's immediate actions was invaluable, to say the least.
Yeah.
Proof there are still good souls among us. Both are in stable condition and headed into surgery tomorrow morning. They are surrounded by family. Please have Sean and Marin in your prayers. Mm-hmm. All right. So we got an update yesterday, because we're recording this on Monday. We got an update yesterday on Sunday, 9:30 a.m., whatever the time zone it was. That's my pet peeve, Wendy. is that people say what time it is.
I know.
What frickin' time zone? There's more than one time zone.
Because, of course, Tony's
the hosts.
Texas.
The hosts are all over the damn country. What time zone are you in?
Exactly.
And people go, oh, I'm in my time zone. Well, I don't know. Do I have to have a little sheet to convert it? Whenever you send a message? Anyway.
And just so the listeners know, Tony's out of Texas, which has about 3 time zones in its own world.
Another good reason.
Exactly.
Actually, I think we just have 2. I have to go look that up.
2, I think you only have 1.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say
I think
it's possible that the very tip over there in West Texas may be in mountain, but I don't think so.
No, I don't think so, because I believe you and New Mexico are both in central.
Okay, well, that's good. I like that.
I could be wrong. You know what? If we're wrong, you need to write in and let us know.
As I like to say, God's time zone. It's the only real time zone that we have.
God, let's keep going.
Well, it's Texas. If it's Texas, that should have been good enough for everybody else. You guys do the conversion. We need to have it. We're Texans. We need all the help we can get. Okay, so Sean is going into surgery. This is as of Sunday, 9:30 a.m. To mend his fractured spine. Marin's back surgery was last night and apparently went well, according to Denise, Sean's wife.
Thank goodness.
This is amazing. I did not know that Sean was married. So that's a joke. Update 3 p.m. on Sunday after several surgeries, and I think that's more than one on not just the 2 people. I think there was more than one surgery on the 2 people. Sean and Marin are on the road to recovery, but they could use extra support for their medical needs.
Thank you.
Sean is self-employed, so donations will make a difference. Please rally together. If you're able, please consider contributing to Sean's GoFundMe. And of course, we'll include the GoFundMe in the show notes for this episode.
Well, hey, Jeep fans, do you love the Jeep Talk Show? Well, help us keep the trails alive by joining our Patreon. Yep, just for a small monthly pledge. You'll get ad-free episodes, discounts from major vendors, and the satisfaction of supporting a 15-year passion project that brings the Jeep community together. With 5 weekly episodes. Yeah, we said 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
4, 5. Including Chick Chat. That's right. We got a girls section. You guys have to check that out. We're here to fuel your off-road obsession. Join the Jeep Talk Show family on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Jeep Talk Show, and let's roll together. Your support keeps us all on the trail.
It's interesting. This is some AI generated copy that we have here for the show. And I think it's interesting how the AI thought that being a Patreon subscriber is going to help the trails.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, actually, not that we fund what you do out there on the trails, Wendy, but you're always cleaning up.
Yeah.
And you talk about the cleaning up after yourself, pack it in, pack it out. So I guess it does help the trails.
Well,
but when it said the trails, I was like, we ain't out doing anything to the trails. We're not like tread lightly.
We are, because we're giving information for new drivers. Maybe somebody who hasn't done an obstacle before. We're teaching them all kinds of things. So we do help you on the trail. And
maybe they're not ejecting them poopy diapers anymore.
Exactly. Oh my God.
I ain't hauling this shit. Literally.
Hell no way.
All right. So Stellantis challenges. Jeep's parent company, Stellantis, is facing production hurdles, including temporary layoffs of 900 workers in the Midwest and paused production at plants in Canada and Mexico due to U.S. tariffs. They've also paused retooling at Canadian plant meant for the next-gen Jeep Compass. I think, and Wendy, we've talked about this before, I think all this stuff is temporary.
Absolutely.
And I think that in the long run, there's going to be a lot more jobs in the United States where they should be, damn it. Yeah. And people are going to be very happy. They're scared. They don't know what to expect right now. But sometimes whenever you're going to try to make things different, it's going to be scary until it gets better.
I agree.
So, yeah. And I think it's interesting here, too, that it says paused production. So, and I think they've kind of got the sense of what's going on here. I mean, there's already a lot of stuff going on with the tariffs. But boy, people are really wound up about it. Both sides are wound up about the tariffs.
It's just like, and what I don't think they understand is that the U.S. has been charged tariffs from every single country in the world, but we don't know that. We don't get to hear that.
But everything's okay. It's okay. Nothing's on fire. We've been paying them tariffs, and that's cool. Well, we're used to that. Of course, jobs keep going to overseas, and they keep building things in other countries because it's cheaper over there.
Yeah.
People like to talk about fairness and a living wage. I guarantee you, people in China are not getting a living wage. People in Mexico are not getting a living wage. That's the reason why this stuff is being built over there. Oh, and all your tech support out of India, guess what? They're not getting a living wage either. So, I told this story the other day. This is several years ago. I worked just for a few months, maybe 6 months, before I could get the hell out of there. I was doing tech support for HP. I've worked for HP a couple of times, and I was working in this big center. It was the gold level support. Oh. And it wasn't like PC type stuff. It was like a business corporate thing. So it wasn't just like, I can't find the any key on my button to press. So it was more complex than that.
Sure.
But it was gold level support. And what gold level support meant was you were talking to a U.S. citizen.
Wow.
You were talking to somebody in the United States that you could understand. Sorry.
Right.
I hope didn't hurt somebody's feelings, but you could understand them, and corporations were willing to pay extra to buy U.S. I mean, it literally was and it didn't have to be a U.S. citizen they were talking to, but it was somebody that was a U.S. resident and could speak English properly, and so on and so forth. So I can see that happening with bringing jobs and things back to the United States. People may have to pay a little more, but it's like, we've been telling you for a while to buy U.S. Now we're just going to fix that. Well, that's what you got to do.
It's going to all change here, hopefully.
And if we get to zero tariffs on both sides, that also means that companies will be able to sell their goods to foreign customers.
Exactly.
And this is going to be very beneficial for them.
Yep.
My biggest fear, I personally think this is going to succeed very well. Nothing's ever 100%, but I think it's going to be a high 80, 90% success. And I think people are going to, the people that are really screaming and hollering, they're going to go, well, I didn't think, when I said all that stuff, I didn't think that this was going to happen. I didn't take this into account. And they're going to have reasons why they are fucking wrong.
That's called backtrack.
Yes. We call that crawfishing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Crawfishing.
So, I very well could be wrong, but I'm not afraid of admitting I'm wrong. I will express my opinion and go, well, yeah, I was certainly wrong about that. And, I think I'm one of the few people that do that. I like to just not say that it's going to work or not. Just wait and let it see. Let's see what happens. All right. Anyway, so Stellantis does have challenges, as does several U.S. markets out there. U.S. markets, U.S. automakers. So we'll see how it goes. I think in the big scheme of things, it's going to be very good for the United States, and I don't think it's going to take very long. I mean, not years, maybe a couple of months. That's my guess at it.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that too.
All right, Jeep lovers, rev up your listening experience with the Jeep Talk Show on Spotify. For 15 years, we've been your go-to podcast for all things Jeep, off-road adventures, tech tips, and community vibes with 5 episodes a week, including the women-led Chick Chat. Spotify makes it easy to tune in while you're driving to work, hitting the gym, or mowing the lawn. This is also AI generated. And it remembered. That's the stuff I've talked about before.
That's kind of neat.
The gym, yeah. So it's using the words that I've used.
I like it.
Yeah, it's really cool. With over 1,000 episodes, I think, what is this, 1273 or 1274 that we're recording?
I know, yeah. 1274. Woo.
Well, when you do 5 a week, they have a tendency to go up very quickly.
They do.
With over 1,100 or 1,200, 1,300, no, 1,200 episodes, you can stream or download your offline listing, ensuring you never miss a trail tale. That reminds me of an R-rated movie I saw in the 80s. All right, so even without cell service, which is really cool,
that is cool.
Here's a bonus. You can watch the episode right there just by pressing a single button.
That's cool.
So you can listen, press the little icon that's on the screen, on your phone screen, and it immediately switches to, there's no delay. It just switches to the video. Boom, it's there. exactly at the spot that you were listening. So if you hear Wendy say something, or you go, maybe you want to, there must be a picture, or we're directed to look at something, or, you should have seen what Nicky G did. You got to watch this.
Yeah, exactly.
You can rewind and then press the button and watch Nicky G and watch his shenanigans on the screen.
Nice.
This is so cool. This is so much more. And mind you, I'm pissed off at YouTube right now. This is so much nicer than YouTube. Don't get me wrong. I like watching stuff on YouTube. I don't get Fox News, so I get to see Fox News. There's some other contributors that are on there. Doug TenNapel, the creator of Earthworm Jim, he does a lot of conservative talk, and he does like 4 episodes a day. I get all my news, that type of news from it. I don't watch TV or anything anymore.
No.
I just watch the YouTube and watch these people that think like I do. No, I know it's good to hear other opinions, like Bill Maher. Oh, wait a minute. Bill Maher thinks like I do now. I do now too. So
he's
you heard about that, right? He went to dinner with Trump.
Yeah. And he's like, I need to change my opinion now.
I want to mention this really quick. I've said it over and over again, and this wasn't because I was trying to placate or appease anybody about Trump. I have never cared for Donald Trump. He is a braggart. He is he's just very irritating with the way he comes across. Mm-hmm. And but I liked the way he did things about getting the job done back whenever the first time he was president.
Yeah. So
Bill Maher was talking about, he's great. He listens. He wants your input. He takes you around, shows you stuff. You can make jokes at him. He laughs. He's a good guy. And that's what I have learned about Trump, listening to other people talk about it. So I don't know what kind of act he puts on as far as this braggart asshole, but he's a troll. I laugh at how he trolls, because I love trolling as well. So I'm very shocked that Bill Maher is not. I'm not going to say he's a Trump fan.
No, he's not. Yeah, but
he has another layer of understanding of Trump now,
which is good.
Yeah. So then this is what happens whenever you talk to people. I mean, you should be talking to people. You should be learning who they are from talking to them. Don't not talk to somebody just because you have a preconceived notion of them. I mean, I do it too. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else. I do the same thing. I just try to be open to other conversation, and who knows, you may learn something. You may learn something bad, but you may learn something.
But you learn.
But anyway, you can watch us right there on Spotify. Subscribe on our Spotify today at xjtalk.com and join our family, and let's keep the Jeep wave rolling. Oh, now we're responsible for Jeep waves too, the trail and Jeep waves.
Hey. Or like this.
And wherever the road takes you, take the Jeep Talk Show along with whatever road you're on.
I like that.
All right, so I didn't know anything about this until I researched the stories tonight. Ad controversy. Jeep, Dodge, and Ram pulled built-in USA TV ads after regulators flagged deceptive marketing, as some parts are imported.
Oh, please. Every vehicle has to have some parts imported. I mean, nobody makes every single piece anymore. I
think Tesla, which is the most USA-made vehicle, still has foreign components in it.
They have to. There are pieces and things that we don't have in this country.
Right. And that needs to change. And I think part of this whole thing that Trump is doing is going to change that.
Yeah.
We should be able to do everything in this country, including chips. Why do we have to go to Taiwan to get computer chips and memory? Well, actually, I think it's more memory than computer chips. They may be making chips over there for AMD and Intel too. I don't know. There is no reason why we shouldn't be able to do all of this in the United States. It'll just cost a little bit more.
But maybe not if everything works out and we don't have to pay all these high tariffs to everybody else.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe, who knows? I mean, well, maybe everybody wants to be gold level support. Maybe people from other countries are more than willing to buy the USA made products because they are a step above everybody else in the world.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, this has sparked some online chatter about misleading patriotism claims, false patriotism. And I think that's good. I think that they ought to have. It's kind of reminds me of what was it? What was the first aid group? The one you always thought of that was just great. They did a lot of work. Red Cross. Thank you. The Red Cross controversy several years back, where it came out, I think Bill O'Reilly actually brought this out, that 5% of the money that they collected, don't quote me on this, do your own research, was actually what was used to help people.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how much that's changed, though. Has it changed?
It probably hasn't. You got to have them $700,000 a year payrolls for the CEO, and this kind of it makes me feel like a fool. It's almost like pulling up, and this hurts because I'm not the only one, and now I don't want to give any money to anybody. It's like giving money to the guy in the corner that's begging for money, and then the TV crew follows him to his Mercedes at the end of the day.
Yeah.
He's not saying he doesn't have a Mercedes. Right. He's not saying he doesn't have nice clothes or clean clothes. He's just saying, give me some money.
Right.
But you feel foolish. So, anyway, yeah. So, we'll see what happens. I think that, they ought to have a little disclaimer there that, 5%, 3%, whatever of the vehicle is, not U.S. parts.
Well, and they could call
parts.
it too, made mostly in USA.
Yeah.
I mean,
just this close. They could bring back Maxwell Smart.
But honestly, it's built in the USA. They're assembling and putting it together. It's not saying that it's made in the USA. It's saying it's built in the USA. So obviously somebody's not paying attention. You can have things put together, assembled, or built in the USA and still call it built in.
Wendy, you shouldn't have to be a lawyer to figure out you're being lied to.
I love it.
I'm not saying you don't have a good point. I'm just saying that, I know all these little words like, I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
With that woman.
Yeah. Well, he didn't say intercourse. He just said relations.
Okay, here we go.
All right, new models. Jeep is working, and this is the stuff where we don't give a shit. New models. Jeep is working on 2026 Grand Cherokee facelift with updated style and tech. Oh, good. More tech.
I thought it already had more tech. I thought it was already tech savvy.
Here we go. We got some people on our side. Though some criticize the shift to fewer physical controls. Like the transfer case that you see in some vehicles where you have a knob.
Putting in drive, so you have to turn this one instead?
Well, I'm thinking like a transfer case that's mechanical lever attached to, a linkage and stuff, so that you have to put the transfer case in. And if it doesn't go in, it doesn't go in because you can't get the damn lever in there.
Right, exactly.
So that's the physical thing they're talking about.
You're going to have a button you push instead, do this and on a screen?
Yeah. Well, but keep in mind, it's a lot easier for the AI to just push that button internally than it is to grab a lever. Now you need a robot.
That's right.
Yeah. So this is another good reason for no physical controls. A new Cherokee is also in development, aiming to compete with the Toyota RAV4. Oh, my God. Possibly on the STLA large platform with hybrid and electric options. Are we free from that now? Well, maybe we're just free from having to buy it. Maybe that's what we're free of.
I hope so. I don't know. I don't get it. Competing with Toyota RAV4, really? Why don't you just stand alone in your own category? Why do you have to compete with somebody else?
Jeep. The original Jeep. The Wrangler.
Exactly.
Even the Cherokee.
Exactly.
3 million of the Cherokees, the XJs were sold, and it started a whole SUV market because they did something unique.
But they were the leader. Why are they, again, people at the top? Don't be following other people. Create your own little carve your little niche like you've done. Stick with what you know.
But we say that, but don't create crap. We don't want something that's crap. We want something that's good, and that's the difficulty of going with something new. Is because you don't know if it's going to be good or crap. Right.
But think about the Grand Cherokee. Just think about that vehicle. And then think about the Toyota RAV4. One is tiny, one is bigger. So are they going to shrink?
Maybe not anymore. Yeah.
Maybe, but are they going to shrink it down a little bit? Or I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Like you said, let's wait and see. Maybe it's being revealed at EJS.
Nah.
Hey. Nah. I can say that.
Well, EJS is over.
No, it's on right now.
No, this. Oh, that's right. Because I thought we were recording for next week. We're actually recording for this week. So we're talking. This is Tuesday.
Right now. Yeah, it's happening right now.
This is not the day you were thinking it was.
Exactly.
It's Tuesday.
Exactly.
The droids are in the house on the left.
That's right.
So anyway, anyway, hybrid and electric. I don't know. Hybrid to me is just always a bad idea because now you got two things that can go wrong. If you keep your vehicles every 2 years, get a new one every 2 years, then I don't think you have a problem. And the hybrid systems, the 4xe stuff is done very nicely. I mean, Jeep has really built a very nice hybrid electric thing. I don't know so much about the electric options. Yeah. I think the thing that kills the U.S. automakers making electric vehicles is they have too many third-party people that they buy from. So they have to give them money, which is profit, for the whatever it is they're buying plus profit for that company. Mm-hmm. I think one of the reasons Tesla is actually making profit on their electric cars is almost everything they've done with the car is in-house. Yeah. So they can lower cost, make things simpler, and make it profitable. So anyway, but I don't see any other manufacturer doing that, especially with the UAW, because that's a whole nother financial suck.
Whole nother thing.
The automakers, yeah. So they'll either figure it out or they'll go out of business. I mean, once we get to the situation where it's real easy to fill up your EV with electricity because it's everywhere, like gas stations. I can't, and especially with full self-driving, I can't see that it's going to the automotive, and I hope Jeep does something to stay alive, because I don't want to be 20 years, 30 years down the road and having to buy old Jeep stuff to build my Jeep.
Yeah, to keep it all going.
Right. All right, your car, truck, or SUV may not perform as expected if your vehicle is sputtering, hesitates when you press on the gas, or feels like there's insufficient power. Your fuel pump may be to blame. The signs of a failing fuel pump are varied, but your driving experience is the best way to start diagnosing the issue. If your car feels less powerful and responsive, checking the fuel pump's performance should be on your list. I remember back in the 70s when I was driving stuff that was made in the early 70s and early and late 60s, the fuel filter was a go-to thing. And they made inline fuel filters that you could see in. So you could actually see if there was, this is clear plastic.
That's
so
cool.
it wouldn't be great for off-roading, but for on the street, it was fine. So you could actually look at the line and you could see the fuel. And if there wasn't a fuel in there like you would expect, or if there was debris in the fuel filter, well, you need to do a few things. But yeah, it was a great way. And fuel filters were very inexpensive and very easy to change. I should have carried a spare one with me, but it wasn't something that required that much maintenance. You know what? Did you ever get bad fuel anywhere where you got into a station? I mean, really bad fuel where your engine would stop.
Not really bad. No.
A good fuel filter could make a huge difference there. But anyway, a fuel pump can't always be fixed, but there are things you can do to remedy poor performance. If the fuel pump is faulty, there is a good chance you just need to replace it. Here, we'll explain how and when to test your fuel pump performance, the signs of a bad fuel pump, and the cost of replacing it. Now, this is a blog over at realtruck.com, a great advertiser here for us. They advertise with us every other month and make a huge difference in our ability to keep this show going for you. Just go over to realtruck.com/blog and search for how to tell if your fuel pump is bad. I bet you could just do fuel pump bad, and that would be enough to get you to this article.
Well, yeah, especially if you're on the blog already. It should come up.
And they have a whole list of things, blog posts over there. And like I've mentioned to you numerous times, Wendy, it's great because it's not just buy. It's not like here's your fuel pump.
It's infotainment, like, information that you're going to need or to do research on if you have a problem. It's amazing.
We're helping you, so help us. Look at our stuff first whenever you're going to buy something. I mean, I think that's exactly right. And that's one of the things we do here is we try to be entertaining and informative because we want you to come back, but also to, if you like what you get, you can subscribe via Patreon to help support the show.
Absolutely.
All right, so this is the one I've been waiting for tonight, Wendy. Okay. Now, I don't want to make a light because I would never do that.
Right.
over the pain and suffering of another individual.
Oh dear, here we go.
But it may happen anyway. So incidents, a Jeep Wrangler driver ran over a sunbather. You know what I'm saying when it's a sunbather, right? Somebody bathing in the sun.
On the beach. Is it on a beach?
On a Florida beach.
Oh, geez. Wait, so they ran. Okay, how does somebody not see somebody laying on the beach?
So anyway, raising questions about beach driving rules.
Dear. There they go, kicking the
Rule number 1, don't run over people. This even includes protesters that are blocking a main highway.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, we got to get into this story. How is that even possible? And
then separately, Cleveland police reported a spike in Jeep Cherokee thefts using high-tech methods. But I think we need to talk more about this Florida beach thing.
Let's talk about the driver. So who is the driver? Oh, 61-year-old woman. What? So
no excuse.
Yeah, she has experience, right? So why was she doing that?
So it says here, let's see, April 5th, 2025, a 33-year-old man named Colson from Ocala was Gesundheit, was seriously injured while sunbathing on the Ormo Beach. Good God, where the hell are the American words here?
Ormond Beach.
Thank you. He was napping on the sand near the Cardinal Drive beach ramp when a 61-year-old woman driving a Jeep Wrangler veered off the traveled lanes while trying to back into a parking spot.
For heaven's sake.
So, parallel parking and going in reverse is hard.
Learn to drive. Learn to back up. Learn your spatial awareness of your vehicle, people.
I don't think they say what year a Wrangler this is, but where's the backup camera?
Yeah, there might not be one in there. And I get it too. Maybe you can't see. But so my question is, he's napping on the sand near the beach ramp. Was he in the wrong? I don't know. Oh my gosh.
So the 4,100 pound, and then that just hurts listening to how much this weighs. Exactly. The 4,100 pound Jeep rolled right over Janie's head and body, jolting him awake in excruciating pain. You think?
Oh my gosh.
He told the New York Post from his hospital bed. I'm amazed that he's talking.
Yeah, no kidding. Of course, the sand is soft. Maybe it pushed his body down a little bit. I don't know. Hey,
maybe his head's soft. Maybe the sutures hadn't healed up from being birthed. He says, I guess I had maybe fallen asleep for a little bit.
You think?
And then woke up to a tire coming over my head.
Oh my God.
Janie suffered a broken femur requiring a titanium rod, a clean break of 2 bones in his forearm, and needed emergency leg surgery. He is now recovering in stable condition, but it's a stark reminder that no matter how tired you are.
Oh, I see what you did there. Tired. Oh my gosh.
Don't go laying down where people might run your ass over.
So are they going to issue flags now for people that are sunbathing? You know how you have to have flags on SUVs and different motorcycles and stuff in the desert?
That's a good idea. And a flag on a long fiberglass rod, and an extra pair of underwear.
Yeah.
Because that was just like a tube of toothpaste.
Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine. Did it say anything about her, like what she said she was doing? They cited her for careless driving.
It says the driver stayed at the scene and cooperated with the Volusia. Give me that one. You know how to pronounce that one?
No, but Volusia. Sounds like Volusia.
Oh, I couldn't have gotten that right first try.
You did get it right.
The Volusia Sheriff's Office, who cited her for careless driving. No signs of impairment were reported, but the incident has sparked debate.
I told you, what you're going to do now. You're going to ban Jeeps, watch.
Oh, yeah, because if it's too high, you can't see, and you can't see, that's going to hurt people, and now you can't put on bumpers that allow you to have a wreck and drive away where the other one has to be unfolded to get the people out. Anyway, it says the debate is vehicles in general should be banned from driving on beaches, pointing out to the risks for sunbathers just trying to catch some rays.
Well, that's what they're going to say. They've been trying to get vehicles off of beaches forever, right? We've had those stories before.
Well, it's interesting. They've talked about closing down the event that's coming up here, I think next month or in May. Is that next month? The Go Topless Day. And they were talking about closing down the beaches for Go Topless Day. But in the state of Texas, and I don't remember this precisely, but in the state of Texas, the beach is a legal roadway in Texas.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can close it for like life flight or, if there's a flood or a hurricane.
It's a thoroughway, so you can't.
Right. But you can't just say, nope, sorry, you can't drive on the beach this weekend because it's a road. It's a legal Texas road. Wow. And I don't know how that translates for other people in the rest of the world or the rest of the states. Who cares about the rest of the world? We're talking about the United States here.
Well, I like this next part. This isn't the first time this has happened in Volusia County.
It's not the first time.
Yeah, but so maybe you shouldn't be sunbathing in Volusia County or at Ormond Beach. Apparently, I mean that would be the first thing. But it says there was another incident that happened. This is
just worded really rough. Back on February 5th, a 71-year-old woman from New York was run over, or runded, as we like to say, runded over by an 84-year-old driver. Now, some of this stuff makes sense. Driver's pickup while sunbathing near Silver Beach Avenue and Daytona. Daytona Jeep Beach is coming up. So
I know.
Natalie could get runded over out there if she's sunbathing.
I'm thinking stop sunbathing. But again, having big flags, maybe. I don't know.
Well, how about something, instead of laying on the beach itself, get one of those little pop-up things, a chair or one of those cots,
Well, and I also think if you're driving on the beach, isn't that your responsibility to make sure everything around you, like your surroundings, so you're not running over little kids or toys or dogs or apparently people sunbathing?
Yeah, I'd like to actually speak to the 61-year-old woman or the 84-year-old driver that was in the pickup if they're still alive.
To see what they saw or didn't see?
Yeah, to see, just ask some basic questions. And anyway, so, from what I can tell here, nobody has been killed, which is amazing.
Well, thank goodness. Well, because you're probably driving slow. I don't know how fast you can go in. Well,
4,100 pounds, and that's the Jeep. No telling what the truck weighed. But the head was run over. You need a head. That's a critical piece of equipment.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
So anyway, these incidents hit close to home with Jeep Beach 2025 kicking off at Daytona Beach this Friday, April 18th, just a few days away.
That's this week, yeah.
Yeah. The 10-day event expects 40,000. We roll into a commercial. The 10-day event expects 40,000 Jeeps and over 250,000 visitors. At least 125,000 of them will be sunbathing, saying, hit me.
Yeah, roll over me. Let me see how that feels.
I want to see what the Jeep Talk Show is talking about here. So, but anyway, scavenger hunts, Jeep rollovers. No, I'm just kidding. Coastal cleanups and the world famous Jeep Beach Parade on April 27th. It's a celebration of Jeep culture and flat people. But with these recent accidents, safety at the beach is top of mind. What do y'all think? Should beach driving rules change? I think sunbathing should be banned.
Wait, maybe he was nude sunbathing and she said, oh my gosh, I've got to fix that.
We need a whole friend or foe system like they have in the military. Yeah. So when you're getting too close to a friend, beep, beep, beep.
Yeah. Danger.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Exactly what I was going to say is like, that's why I want mine to say, danger, Will Robinson, or whatever the hell your name is.
Yeah, exactly. Stop.
All right, so let's switch gears. That was a very sad story. I'm got a little tear in my eye.
And I hope he's going to be okay though, because that's a lot. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, I mean, several things here. We don't really like talking about people getting hurt and stuff, but with Sean, who has been a guest on our show.
Yes,
you've met Sean, I believe you said, and it doesn't even matter if he hadn't been on the show or you haven't met him. We still don't want that to happen to anybody, especially a Jeeper.
Yeah.
So I'd like to, if Sean, if you're listening to this, I know you're not, but Sean, if you're listening to this is just great for podcasting. This is going to be a wonderful story for the Truck Show podcast. Well, What? Yeah.
It's true.
Sean, what the hell happened?
Yeah, no, let's first make sure everything was good and they're all good. And yeah, definitely check out the website. Go to that GoFundMe link and contribute if you can.
All right, so leadership and strategy. Strategy should not be used with the word Jeep. After CEO Carlos Tavares' resignation, Stellantis is focusing. Don't let the door hit you, or the good Lord split you. I thought that one was good.
I haven't heard that before. That's good. I like it.
That's a new one for me as well.
A new one. Yeah, I haven't heard that.
That's a Texasism. It's probably for someplace else. But what was it? Don't let the door hit you on the ass on your way out is the one I always heard.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
So after CEO Carlos Tavares' resignation, Stellantis is focusing on rebuilding Jeep's lineup. Excellent. With new electric models. Boom, boom, boom. Wait, I can actually do that. Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
Mine, I think the one I did with my mouth was better.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to go there. Like the Wrangler S and Recon. I think the Recon is a cool looking Jeep. It's not a real Jeep, but it's a cool looking Jeep. And plans for stronger presence at auto shows. This was just stupid. Them pulling out of auto shows.
Well, that was the dumbest move, but that's, Carlos. So that's
it just makes people think you don't got enough money to go to an auto show. I mean, good God.
You have to have a presence in this industry.
Regardless. You have to advertise.
You got to do advertising and do marketing. You got to do social media now. You got to show up to these events. You have to sponsor, and you've got to do it because people need to have that name put out there all the time.
I think Jeep should find some of these newfangled podcasts to advertise on.
Well,
like a Jeep-centric podcast.
How about like Jeep Talk Show. Hello. And I've even volunteered to drive and test drive some of these vehicles that are new on our beautiful trails of Big Bear. So, we've got people.
Oh, they could give me one of them Jeeps that has the big moo-moo on it, where people can't tell what it is. I'll drive a moo-moo Jeep.
You don't matter to me. I'll take it through its paces and give it a real test.
Wouldn't that be funny if they started calling it moo-moo Jeeps whenever...
That's so funny.
When they put the crap on the outside
so you can't
see exactly what it is.
Speaking of moo-moo, have you seen the ads on Instagram for the new Jeep color Juice called JOOSE?
I think I reported on that last flagship episode. And the cool thing was it's JOOSE.
SE, yeah, Juice. I think anyway, it looks like a nice color. I haven't seen it in person, but anyway, didn't mean to separate.
No, it's all right. They ought to let's call it the OJ.
Yeah.
But I think OJ would be white. I'm not being racial here. I'm saying because the Bronco was white.
It could also be a Bronco, so there you go. You can't.
Yeah. Well, with the way things are going, there's so many Broncos things out there.
It might be.
And I'm like, that's fine. You guys do the Bronco thing, but are you a real Jeeper? If you own a Bronco, I don't care if it's for your wife. Why in the hell would you buy a Bronco? As far as I could tell, the Broncos are crap. I mean, I keep seeing stuff and
you have
about
to do
it.
You have to do a lot to them to make them worthy of some of the trails.
Yeah. Well, even if you're not going to take it on the trails.
Yeah.
Why would you want an off-road vehicle that you can't take off-road? Or if you do.
Off-road. Yeah, it's not really off-road.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure if you're a Bronco owner and you've taken it off-road and you've done a lot of stuff, let us know. Contact us. xjtalk.com/contact. Happy to talk to you and make fun of you for 45 minutes. All right, Wendy. So I know that you like cleaning up and rearranging the plants out there on the trails.
Yeah, this is my favorite thing to do. But this time we're going to talk about trail etiquette. And I know that people think, what the heck is there etiquette? So, we are stewards of the land. And part of what we need to do of our trails is to make sure that, everybody enjoys them and has a good time. So these are just a couple of tips for etiquette. If you're new to off-roading and you're not really sure, the first thing I'm going to say is you want to stay on designated trails. And this is more and more apparent because there are a lot of agencies out there that want to close everything down. There's people in certain government organizations that don't believe we should be driving on any of that stuff, whether it's a beach or it's a desert or the mountains. I'm sure there's places all over this country where there's people trying to close it. So staying on the designated trails means don't be cutting down fences. Don't be going somewhere else. If you're not set up and built for that obstacle, turn around. There's plenty. It doesn't mean that you're not masculine enough by doing that. Just say, look, I'm not going to do this, because we see that a lot in Big Bear where they just cut down the fences and drive where they're not supposed to. So
There's work involved in that too, which I'm surprised men would be involved in extra work.
Well, what's sad is they don't do any work like they should to cut a fence. They actually just drive through it and they bend the T-post.
That makes sense.
So stupid. But anyway, just stay on the designated trails. So keeping tire spin to a minimum. There's a lot of YouTube videos out of all kinds of famous people with good names who just love to sit there and spin, spin, spin.
Oh, and this has been going on since the 70s or 80s, where people just go out there and balls to the walls with their big V8 Chevy engine like it's mud. And it's not mud. It's just, it may be a little dirt, and slinging that stuff and bouncing around.
And it's cool, but
it's exciting, but it's not what I would call real off-roading.
Yeah. And I know King of the Hammers does a lot of it because some of those, almost need to get that spin, and that tire needs to be able to connect and, get hot enough to create that little traction to be able to get up and over. And I think that's where a lot of it comes. But we're talking about average trails, maybe your medium to, black diamonds, the heavier ones. If you've got wheel spin, something didn't work out in your lineup, right? So you need to realign yourself. You should just be able to ease yourself up and over and get onto these rocks and climb different stuff. So
think of less breakage when you do this.
Yeah, well, for sure. And tire spinning, what it does, especially in softer dirt, is it creates this little rut, and it creates disbursement of the dirt, which actually creates problems for the trails. So it is another thing to just keep in mind. Minimal tail spin is good. So the minute you've stopped moving, whether you're in mud, sand, or water, whatever dirt, you got to stop. Don't just keep trying to spin the wheels. It's not going to change your direction. It's just going to make it worse.
You hit reverse and you press that go button all the way to the floor.
All the way.
And then while you got that motion going backwards, you go back in a drive and also go floor it.
Yeah.
It's called a dirt rooster tail. Forward and reverse.
And I'm sure there'll be people calling going, no, I love doing that. Well, that's fine. But
absolutely. But that's when you break stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Because at some point it's going to connect and then you're going to break things. So respect other drivers. So I know every state probably has rules and regs about who is supposed to pull over to the right or the left if you're uphill, downhill. In the state of California, if you're going uphill, you have the technical right of way of somebody coming downhill. Well, in off-roading, it sort of depends on the size of the group. And also if you have the ability to pull over. So if you're on a trail that's pretty wide, it's not a big deal to pass somebody. You don't have to worry about it. You should slow down as an etiquette to not be dusting the other people. At the same time, if you're coming up to a group that's sitting on the side and having lunch, slow down, just be respectful. But in true road etiquette for passing, you as a driver need to be paying attention to when you have a turnout or a wider space. There's a lot of shelf roads here in Big Bear, which is Southern California. You may not be able to pull to the right because you're the driver, and the driver sitting more to the center of that trail, you may not be able to see or understand how close you are to that trail. So you may actually move yourself to the left and let the people passing you go on the other opposite side. And that way the driver can see if he's close enough to the edge. So there are things like that.
Yeah, put those assholes on the edge. Let them sweat.
That's what I do. I'm like, well, I'm not doing it. But if you have spatial awareness, you understand the width of your Jeep, then you can do that comfortably. But if you're not and you're a new driver, there are things you can do. It's a natural reaction to go to the right because that's what we've been taught on the roads and highways. But I'm saying that you have permission to go to the inside of that trail and let the other people come around.
Well, it makes sense too, because you can see how close you are because you're on the driver's side to pulling over, and the other people can see how close they are to the edge because they're on the driver's side. It makes sense.
But I think a lot of new drivers may don't understand. I got to go to the side, but I'm nervous. And then they think they're over and they're in the middle of the road. The driver coming the other way is like, dude, you need to move over.
What are we doing here? What are you going to do?
And it's no fault of you being a new driver. You're learning that spatial awareness. So just know that. Now, the general rule is if you are the larger group, you've got 4, 5, or 6 Jeeps, it's harder for you to get everybody to move over if you're a single or 1 or 2 group. So know that if you're doing out on a trail with a friend and you're 1 or 2 Jeeps, you need to move over and let the bigger groups through. So that's it doesn't matter if it's uphill or downhill, by the way. There is no set rule on that. And the other thing is, just in case you're on trails with horses, horses still have the right of way of all vehicles and humans, by the way. So make sure that you're aware of your area when you're driving, that you could have animals, people that are hiking, bicyclists, and also other Jeepers. So you just be aware of your state and whatever those rules are for right of way. I'm a big proponent of pack it in, pack it out. We already talked about that. So any trash that you actually have with yourself, you need to take it back with you. We've talked about that in separate episodes. Also, too, leave it cleaner than you found it. If you're driving along and you see a bottle or a can or some trash, stop and pick it up. That's why we should all have extra bags that we can put trash in. Bring some gloves, right? I don't want to touch other people's stuff, and throw it in a bag. So just try to think about that as etiquette, that you're trying to leave those trails cleaner than you found them. So
quick question for you. Yeah. I saw an image on social media today where, when you're on a trail and there's like some, I wouldn't call them, they're like bushes. I wouldn't call them full-size trees, but enough to kind of obscure the trail.
Yes.
And there was a tank coming around the corner. Now, what is the trail etiquette for a tank passing you? And I was trying to think of what tank it was, and then I thought, it's a tank. It doesn't matter which one it is.
He has the right of way. I'm just going to tell you that.
That's
right
what
now.
I'm saying.
I'm backing the heck up, dude. You have the right of way. Yeah, I'm not, because you're not going to win that one. You're not going to win that fight.
And when the turret points at you and it says, and you're going like, yo, come on, you can go, and it goes,
move. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a good one.
It was such a cool picture. I'm thinking, I think what my comment on the post was, I'd wheel it, but I'd need live ammo. So
yeah. Well, and that's also too is a perfect example. When you are wheeling, you want to be aware that, hey, I passed an area on a curve of a corner that I could get myself into, or I could back into. There's a little turnout that back, so that you know that you can back up. If you're not comfortable backing up, then you better learn to do that. And don't be using the cameras, by the way. Learn your spatial awareness and use your mirrors.
And this is a perfect time to plug Trails Off-Road. Use your Trails Off-Road navigation so you don't wind up on an Army training course and come nose to nose with the tank.
Yeah, we actually have that.
What a great story.
Yeah, well, that'd be a fabulous story. We actually have that out here where King of the Hammers is. They'll actually shut down a good portion of Johnson Valley.
That's right.
Because they actually do live ammo training, and they do all kinds of stuff with the military out there. So that's an interesting one, because you can't block off roads. This may have been from not King of the Hammers, but that area. You never can tell. I don't know where the picture was from. I just thought it was funny as hell. Yeah, that's a good one. So. All right. So another thing is leave what you find. I know that when we're out, we think about trash, picking everything up, but basically anything that's 50 years or older is considered an artifact by law, and it should stay put. That's for the architects and people later on to come back. But
sorry, Grandma, you should have stayed in the Jeep.
That's a good one. I like that. But, when you sometimes go as a group and you're going to go look at rock formations or cliffs or waterways, there's petroglyphs, all kinds of buildings and old cabins you can find in the desert areas. You need to leave everything as it is. Please don't be taking rocks. And I don't know if you saw, there was somebody in Moab knocking rocks down. They're going to nail those people. I mean, you just don't do stuff like that. Leave nature as it is. So that's just a good etiquette to keep in mind.
There's some really cool copper-laden stuff out there at Moab. It flakes off and nobody will miss it. So it's green. So you got to have it,
Another one is don't feed the wildlife. And I know people think, oh, what's the big deal? I dropped my Cheetos and the whatever.
But Grandma's starving. She got separated from the Jeep. She's over 50. So you got to feed Grandma if you see her out there on the trails.
I always love the people that are in Yellowstone trying to touch the bison.
Oh, really? Good Lord.
What the hell's wrong with you, right?
God. Did the Indians not teach you anything?
Yeah, you get flipped over, and it's like, especially in mating season of any animal, give me a break,
Oh, flipping over is the least of your worries.
But you definitely shouldn't feed them. One, it could actually injure them. Number two, it could also make them dependent on humans. And then, of course, they can't survive. So please do not leave any food. Don't give any food. Just stay away from it. So. And the last one I have for etiquette is to control your pets. I talk about this too. When you're jeeping with your dogs, we all love our dogs, some cats, there's other animals we've seen out there. Just be responsible for cleaning them up and keeping after them. We don't want somebody might be in your group that doesn't like dogs or is allergic. That's another big deal, So make sure that you're just taking control of your animal. Do not let your dog go chase a deer or some critter or a bird. Not a bird, it'd be like a rabbit or whatever they're chasing.
Rabbits. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You definitely need to be in control. That is the wildlife's whole world is out there, and we're infringing on their habitat. So please, just be responsible, have the etiquette, have a great time, but know that you just, you can
put your dog on a damn leash and control it.
Exactly.
I mean, if not for the wildlife, the other people that are on the run with you.
Well, that's both the ways. It's the people and them.
Yeah, what is it I've heard on social media, like TikTok or something? The guy says, "Does my dog bite? Not me." So, I mean, consider that a warning.
Well, what was his name from the Pink Panther? Because he says, does your dog bite? No. I thought you said your dog didn't bite. That is not my dog.
Yeah.
It's not my dog. I don't know. Anyway, so there you go. Etiquette is a great thing to do and be. We're just out having a good time. So
let me ask you this. Nicky G, do you think he's an etiquette, just general all around, not just trail, but does he seem like an etiquette person to you?
He does, actually.
Nicky G, you need to submit a video with your pinky out.
With your etiquette. No, actually, I think he does because his name Wendy. So, of course, he has etiquette.
From the mind of Nicky G.
Hey, this is Nicky G, and if your Jeep's not starting or running right, it might be the rotor button, which is this little thing, which is underneath the distributor cap. Do Jeeps even have distributor caps anymore? I know the old crappy ones I have do. But you just clean this off with some sandpaper, and it might help your Jeep run a little bit better and or start. But it's not to be confused with the button that's on a woman, which I have not found yet.
Don't use sandpaper on that.
But I really don't think it exists. Well, that's not why I'm calling. I'm calling to tell you that I was kidnapped by a bunch of mimes the other day. Yeah, they did unspeakable things to me. I think I could do better than that. I got kicked out of the casino the other day. Yeah, I totally misunderstood craps table. All right, boys and girls, yeah. Can't go wrong with a potty joke. All right, I'll talk to you later. You have a good one. Bye.
I liked his first joke better. I got to just say that.
It was. The first one was better.
That was good.
There is I don't think you ever find out who it is, but in the book Flight of the Intruder, on board the carrier, I think it's the CAG, the guy that's in charge of all the air crews. There was a phantom shitter that would go in his where his office was or whatever and shit on his desk.
Oh my gosh.
And it was interesting. And I could see military, doing that. I mean, it's kind of like, you say the wrong thing to me. You were rude. You said things in front of the guys and they were giving me a shit about it. Now I'm going to give you some shit. So I remember the phantom shitter from Flight of the Intruder, not in the movie, which is a shame because I think that'd have been hilarious. They could have had Val Kilmer being doing a cameo.
Oh my God.
And being the phantom shitter. All right, well, Nicky G, we got to love you. And I haven't mentioned this before, Wendy. It was a very short period of time between whenever the 24 hours of Nicky G got posted on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we got removed. Just saying, there's a correlation there, I think.
So this is Nicky G's fault.
Well, Josh isn't here, so it's got to be somebody's.
We're going to blame Nicky G because I'm not taking the fall for it.
All right, so coming up on our this Friday's interview episode, it says it right here, Tony. Just read the damn thing. On Friday's interview episode, Seth and Mason from TBN Off-Road. TBN, it's not Turner Broadcast Network. I was not anticipating these guys for this interview. I thought I was going to be talking to Ted Turner. So, but anyway, Seth and Mason from TBN Off-Road, they were at Mid-America Off-Road, and Chris actually interviewed Mason at the Mid-America Off-Road Expo, which was February, last part of February, here up in Wilmington, Ohio, I believe. All right, so did you feel informed and entertained, or just one of the two? We can go for 50%. Show us some love by dropping a 5-star rating and a blazing review. I got to check our reviews on Apple. I haven't done that in months.
Oh, we might have some in there. We need to talk about them and share them on the show. So
go to your go-to podcast platform. It's your way to help us expand our Jeep family. Keep the adventure rolling by hitting follow on the social media and on our social media and joining our newsletter crew for the hottest Jeep updates and unmissable events. got burning. Oh, and right now, if you go to our Instagram page at Jeep Talk Show, you just go over there and you can see some really nice Moab pictures.
Yeah, they're already starting to come in.
Yeah, we don't have a bunch of them, but we have a few there, and it's really cool because you can kind of see there's a lot of Jeep Talk Show people out there this year.
I know. I couldn't believe it. They were all at the diner. I was like thinking about you, Tony, from the last time you went.
that is a cool place to go, and you see a lot of influencers there. I saw Matt from Matt's Off-Road Recovery there one year, and I saw, I think all the Gone Jeeping guys were there. That's when Greg poured water on my head, but at least it didn't twist my nipple that time. Okay, well, it actually happened, just not then. Got a burning question or a wild idea for our next episode? Fire it over to us at xjtalk.com/contact. Thanks for cruising with us, and get ready for more thrilling journeys ahead. Wendy, thanks for being here.
Yep.
Broadcasting since 2010.
Always fun.
You're my friend. You're my new friend.